Good evening. I am Anatoly Anatolisova, and this is Patriots Must Rise. It's been a while since I've actually posted. I've had some physical issues, and so bear with me. Not an excuse. So, in today's episode, I'm going to be showing you some liberal hypocrisies and back it up with some science. But it's just basically to have you keep in mind that the people that are constantly screaming about the environment, constantly just trying to get attention, are just trying to get attention. Everything that they're doing is for an agenda, and I think we all know what that agenda is. So here we go.
Okay, it is May 18th, mid-May, late May. 1 o'clock in the morning, and there is frost on the ground. All right? I'm at a new assignment for work, or at least new to me. And in one night, and the night's not even over yet, I have seen a bobcat, a mountain lion, and I swear to God, a wolf. This is Lake Oswego. It's a rather weird place that's still kind of considered Portland, but it's really not. I told my boss once I realized how far out it is that I will not be accepting this assignment again, because the further out I go, I'm on the bus. The further out I go, the harder it is to actually get there. So, there's that. I have not done a podcast in a couple weeks, basically because I needed to figure out how to put it together. This one might hit home for a lot of people, and I wanted to do it right. I'm talking about not just reforming how disability is applied for, but how things like SNAP and EBT and WIC are qualified for. You see, right now, as it stands, in the infinite wisdom of people like AOC, we have a need-based system that is based on your gross income. In other words, how much taxes they can take out. They're not concerned about your net income that you can actually live on. They want to know how much you can actually be leached off of for the next illegal immigrant. I'm just calling it as I see it. Because for the most part, it's the people that have never actually put into our system that are living off of our system right now. It's not bigotry. It's in your face, this is the way it is. And the reason I bring it up is because, as many of you know, a while back I got into an accident and my left arm is worthless. I went from doing these very high-paying, laborious jobs to working security for just over minimum wage. Just over minimum wage doesn't qualify me for food stamps. All right? Now, I think it's important that people understand that. Basically, if you're working, you don't qualify. But it's the people that are working that are paying into the system. For other people that are not contributing to the system at all. That needs to change. Another thing is I had my lawyer drop me for just before my disability hearing because his firm did not think that they could win the case because I had been working the whole time. People, this should not be an issue. It should be required for somebody that is applying for disability to try to work. Try to prove that you legitimately can't work. Don't find some corrupt doctor that's willing to sign off on something. Get your former employers to sign something saying, yeah, this is why I had to let him go. And there's not any possibility of him coming back because he can't keep up with the assembly line or whatever. But the way the system is right now, we have people going homeless, intentionally going homeless, going off the grid for the year requirement, so they didn't have to pay rent and could qualify for the disability. That should not even be an option. But the wrong people have the power. The people that want us to be trapped in the government's claws and don't want us to actually succeed. And of course, I'm talking about the Democrats. Are literally trying to trap you into a situation where you're not making enough of your own income for even rent. But if you quit your job, you go homeless because you can't pay rent. Or my personal favorite, you have to choose between rent or food because you don't qualify for food stamps because they need the money that you paid into the system to pay somebody that has never paid into the system. This kind of stuff has to stop.
Next, we have some blue-haired climate change activists making total asses out of themselves as they're showing off their muscle cars. That burn gas, by the way.
This is probably the most famous graph in climate science, maybe even all of science, the Keeling curve. It shows the long-term increase in atmospheric carbon dioxide since 1958, when a scientist named Charles Keeling started measuring CO2 levels. But if you zoom in, it's not a smooth curve. It's got this sawtooth pattern. Why is that? What you're looking at is the seasonal variation in plant growth. Every spring and summer, new plant growth takes CO2 out of the atmosphere through photosynthesis, and every fall and winter, as plants die or drop their leaves, that CO2 is released back into the atmosphere. The pattern repeats every year, and since most of the world's land and vegetation is in the northern hemisphere, the pattern follows northern seasons. But when you zoom out from this annual cycle, the Keeling curve is still going up, which tells us that Earth's carbon cycle is out of balance and other living things just can't make up for the extra carbon that our species is putting out.
As the previous clip said, there is a environmental imbalance. But the answer isn't reducing CO2. The answer is stopping idiot liberals from killing trees and or that absorb the CO2. This isn't a population size issue. This is an overpopulation of idiots issue.
I could probably get in trouble for this, but this address belongs to this building. This building is going to be a halfway house for members of a sex offenders watch list, and the neighborhood hasn't been told.
As you saw in the last clip, Oregon's lawmakers are completely ignoring the state constitution and federal constitution. Sex offenders are supposed to be made known to the public in every state in the union, every county in the union. But in Lake Oswego, this halfway house was built and is almost operational. It's state funded, state run, and completely unknown to the neighborhood. Anyway, that's what I have for this episode. I'm Anatoly Anatolisovich. This is Patriots Must Rise. If you live in Lake Oswego, definitely spread the word. And please, like, subscribe, live free, die well, and love your neighbor as Christ has loved you.